to episode 35 of the worst reselling podcast ever. This is not the sixth time we're trying to do an intro part, but so hello and welcome. You may have realized that this is only probably a 15 to 20 minute video today. So basically what we're doing is we're actually splitting the podcast into 4 segments. So if it's a course of an hour, so we're basically as close as we can to get to 15 minutes, and they'll be released each day over the course of 4 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll have the 15-minute parts released on those days. And on Saturday, the full episode will be made available. So if you want to watch the full episode, watch it on Saturday, or alternatively, if you're a member of the channel, you'll get it straight this afternoon when we upload it. So that's a little bit of housekeeping and confusing the hell out of everyone.
You had the perfect opportunity there to, pull some crap there and say, well, we had nothing to talk about this week, so
that's right.
15 minutes long.
I was about to say, we have lots of things to talk about this week, but we can't talk about that because we've been sworn to secrecy. We can't be upsetting the apple cart again.
No.
But yeah, so I suppose, get straight into it because we're timing ourselves on the 15-minute segments now. What we're talking about this week is actually resellers dropping like flies. So a lot of full-time resellers going back to work and all these different things, myself included. So what I do want to stipulate right at the start of the episode before we get into it is that there's no shame going back to work. Don't be the person holding the bag once everyone else is, like when the whole thing's fallen apart. So if financial reasons or other reasons you need to get back to work, do that. There's no shame in that. So. But anyway, that's that bit done.
My beloved Josh Gold's gone.
I know. There's a few people
reselling on part-time, but he's gone off his YouTube that I still have to watch. Hi, Josh.
I'm sure I was about to say, you'll still be lurking around, no doubt. But I was going to ask you how you are, Leanne, but I can see you're quite distraught still.
Yes, distressed about Josh going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, I'm very well, thank you.
Well, it's good. Well, I suppose now that Josh Galt's gone, I think Harry Tornado is the only Josh left full time. We lost a lot of Josh last year, and Josh Galt, and I don't know. There's a few other Joshes running around, but we'll see if they're important enough to pop up in the comment section below.
Yeah.
What's right? What about you, Blake? What have you been up to?
Not a lot. I did a hell of a lot of listing yesterday, so I'm pretty tired today. I had a big sleep, and now I'm even more tired, so I need to not sleep. But apart from that, I'm very good. Yes.
Well, it's good. I do have a question before we move on to talk a little bit about the topic. What the hell is that thing next to you? It looks like a jacket that's been starched too much and sitting up by itself. Yeah.
It's on the back of an office chair.
I was going to say, is that your bad buy, or is that just something that's hanging there?
No, it's I think it's a I couldn't tell if it was a jacket or a rug, but I think it's a rug. I'm actually not sure. It's not mine if you can't tell.
I actually thought it was.
It might be a throw rug. Yes.
I thought it was your photography station wrapped up. To you the truth. So maybe put in the comment section below what you thought it was when you first seen it, because I had literally jacket or throw rug was probably the last thing I was thinking of. I thought it was a
giant ice cream. Could have been
a giant ice cream. Yeah.
I wish.
Well, let's see. That's right. So I suppose we're going to get onto the topic. Yes, a lot of resellers have been, not a lot, but a lot of prominent resellers have gone back to work. Like Leanne mentioned, Josh Galt, Archie Biscuit, but Hustling Hooks that Blake mentioned went probably back a little bit last year as well. And I think I've got reasons to think what I believe it is. But what about you, Leanne? What's your thoughts on the matter?
Oh, I just think the opportunity when opportunities arise, if reselling's you're not getting out of it right this minute what you need, and an opportunity does arise for people, because a lot of us that are in the reselling community have other skills, and we're quite skilled. We're very intelligent people, and we have skills in other, businesses and stuff. And like a lot of the ones I talk to, I constantly get, like when they tell me what they actually do in their daytime jobs, or if they used to do a daytime job and are now full-time, there are some really highly skilled people in the community. And, who knows, they get offered a job for really good money. You have to seriously think about, well, what's going to be best for my family, or, in Blake's position there, just having bought a house as a young couple, what's what would be best for them if an opportunity arose for him. There's all different reasons why people might do it. I never think it's because they've failed as such. I think it's to do with taking the opportunities when you can. And I said to you guys the other week, like if I was younger, a lot more like both of your ages, I would, and that opportunity arose for me, I'd still be doing reselling as a, side hustle, because I think it's the best hustle you can do. But to have that full-time income as well as that side hustle would be brilliant.
And what about you, Blake? What's your thoughts on the matter?
I think it's just that not many thoughts go through this head. I'm sort of thinking that it's just a thing that they've decided, within themselves or their family as well. Like you say, like a opportunity arises, but it's also the fact that they've sort of sat back, had a real good look, and realized, okay, this isn't providing what it needs to provide for me to be able to, live the life that I want to live. So I think it's pretty simple overall, and they've got the opportunity to go back and, make what they want to of themselves, or whether it's they got their dream job like a Dean did for Hustling Hooks or whatever, or it's just different circumstances with family and stuff, more like Josh Gold. So it's everyone's got their own reasons, but I think that it's just if it's not what's best for them, then they're not gonna do it. And
excuse me, and I agree with both of you. Is that I think what I'm finding, and a lot of the conversations that I have through the comment section, I had a lot of comments yesterday, and also speaking with Instagram and all these different people, is that they don't a lot of resellers, I won't include myself into this bundle because I was selling before, is that they came in during COVID times where you literally can pick up a rock and sell it for obscene amounts of money because there was that much money was being thrown around. That's all dried up. The state of the economy, the cost of living pressures and all these different going around, is that resellers, unless you're in a niche that you're selling necessities, you're always selling those items that are shiny and suited to people that actually want to use those things. So people don't have the disposable income to buy your video games or your $400 Funko Pops and all these different things. So, and like Blake was saying and Leanne as well, is that you really need to do what's right for your family at that point in time. Is that being a full-time reseller, especially in Australia, you might be only making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, depending on your sales. Because if you're selling $200,000 a year, that's sales. That's not actually translated to profit. So you might only be on a 25% profit margin. So you're working your butt off for 25% of what you're actually bringing in. So you got 50,000. That's before you do tax and all these different things. So like realistically, I could get a job, and the one that I've signed a contract for the next 12 months, they're paying over $120,000 for a year, right? So I do probably about 8 hours a day, come home, do my eBay stuff, which I quite enjoy, and I'm still doing that from that perspective, doing some YouTube stuff, which I quite enjoy. So it's no longer that pressure to go to the thrift stores or go to Facebook Marketplace or source overseas, and constantly being on the back of my mind, looking at all these different things. And to put it bluntly, it's a great pressure off my tentacles.
And I also wonder, like, how many of resellers that have been around the last couple of years actually became resellers because during COVID times their businesses were closed down, or where they worked closed down, and they actually lost their jobs. And a lot of people came into reselling in that way, as opposed to making a decision to, I'm going to start doing reselling. They actually had lost their jobs and were looking at a way, well, what can I do during this time?
Well, and
became online resellers. So,
Because when did you start, Blake? I know when Leanne started, but when did you really start from a reselling perspective?
So I started just before COVID. So sort of late 2018, early 2019. And then I stopped all the way through COVID. And then the COVID ended and I started again. So, but I started real sort of properly, like seriously, sort of start of 2022 probably.
Oh, so about the same time I did.
Yeah, so like,
I mean, you've been doing it before, but
overall, I've done probably 3.5, nearly 4 years worth of it. But pretty much that whole best time to be doing it is when I didn't do it because I had a full-on job that required pretty much all of my attention.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, is that I've seen a lot of I suppose I won't say insignificant people, but a lot of people that breeze in and out of the community. They might post on Instagram occasionally, say, "Hey, look, this is what I found in the thrift store," and all these different things. They've all shut up shops. Like, I've seen a lot of people that I spoke to on numerous occasions that have gone back to full-time employment, and they're just fallen off the radar for the simple fact is that they don't have a YouTube presence, or they don't have really a big social media presence. So I think I won't say it's an issue, but I think this thing is a lot more widespread than what it is because maybe for every one person on YouTube that does it, or one octopus on YouTube that does it, maybe there's 50 or 60 other people that are actually behind the scenes that are doing the same thing, and they just don't publicize it as much. But I suppose I agree with what Leanne is that it's not a failure. It's what your circumstances need. And, I would rather, swallow my pride, go back to work full time than, turn destitute or be homeless, all these different things just to appease, imaginary friends on the internet because you're trying to get karma points or something along the lines of this.
Yeah.
And I think it's very telling of a person that brings attention to that and kind of uses that to publicize, to say, hey, look, this is a failure of this person. If they had followed this person's model, or if they had done it this perspective, they would have succeeded. It's not the way it is. And like we've said numerous times, that every person's individual stance or individual individualistic way of doing things is completely different, which is obviously what individualistic means. But hey, look what it is. Oh, I got that out.
Well, it's good that when you can provide a definition when you make up your own new words.
Right, that's exactly right. I was just trying to work it out, but so basically, I'm actually in the process of doing 2 reaction videos at the moment because I can't get enough of punishing myself. But Curious Collections released a video the other day where they kind of backed on to the Josh Galt train leaving and all these different things, but they didn't really. They mentioned it in passing, so the episode wasn't like jumping on the bandwagon like every other reseller will be doing in the next fortnight. But they're basically saying, look, a lot of people are realizing now that reselling is not all Lambos and mansions and all these different things. Like where 12 months ago it was all Amazon courses. If you did an Amazon course and you sold on Amazon, you'd get like Rolexes and all these different things. Money be showering from the skies. So there is that bit of realization that reselling is a lot of hard work, and I don't care what people say or otherwise. Like if you're watching a particular YouTuber and it's all rainbows and smiles and all these different things, that
rainbows and unicorns.
That's right. They're only showing you what they want you to see because like deep down, either they have no idea and they're probably going to fail in the next 6 months, or that they're doing it for the views. So you just need to be very mindful from that perspective.
Yeah,
very true. Very true.
Oh.
And for people that are wondering too, like say with Josh Galt, for example, when he finished, all his videos have disappeared off his YouTube channel, so you can't watch his old content, which is very sad. But there was a reason for that. So the industry that he works in, he has to sign like NDAs and not have a public social media presence because that's part of his contract. So that's why. And I would imagine that once he finishes that contract, that it'll all come back and if that's what he chooses to do. So
and that's right. But I suppose that once we'll do a first little segment because the people have spoken. They want grinding grumpy gears. Oh Jesus! You say it. I can't think. It's too hot here in the Octoland today.
Grinding granny's gears.
That's right. So grinding Granny's gears. There we go. I spat it out for the 19th time. So basically, we'll roll into that now. So we will talk a little bit more about that. But Granny, what's been annoying you this week?
Well, this week, what's annoying me is a couple of the YouTube channels that I do follow, reselling ones. I've actually stopped watching them.
We're going to have another reseller coming after us now.